Let's go. I'm just kind of winging it. Sorry. 11 last night, 11 today. Yeah. So about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, we're going to come on here, folks, and read these outright. I'm going to read the bills outright. We're reading the bills outright, folks. Stay tuned. I can't play music or I'll get copyright, even though we have the rights here. We're about to discuss these. We're going to go read the whole bill. Right here. Stay tuned. If you want to join and discuss this, you can. live fixing to discuss what could be the most monumental or the biggest change in policing and in law regarding the American people right here, folks. Stay tuned. The Right to Travel Act. We're going to read the full bills. Ran out of time yesterday. Sorry, folks. Tired. A lot going on. So I don't know if I want to come back with it. I'll be back in 30 minutes. We should, let us know. Radio, all the top channels, even media sports channel. Come on, folks. Anybody that does the news, your local community channel, the low power ones, probably do the news every hour, NPR, call them all. Tell them about the Right to Travel Act at the state level, folks. You need to tell them right now. At the state level, the Right to Travel Act, folks, you need to inform your legislators, you need to inform your police and sheriff departments, but mainly the media right now. Once these get filed, things get confirmed, I'm going to spam call the media right now. Got it on the website. We're going to get into it. Stay tuned, folks. The biggest changes in American history. We're going to go over things again, these changes that just happened, that led up to this. We're going to do a brief, and we'll come right into it. We're reading the bills directly here in about 30 minutes. Y'all stay tuned, folks. DJ.go2 here, folks. If you want to come in the box, that video ninja link. Chat in the description is the link. Join the chat, folks. coming to a state near you, state level. This is not a petition or any of the similar. This is a full legislative package. This is codified reform, folks. Law change, etc., or removing unconstitutional statutes. 14th, did you know the 14th Amendment wasn't ratified? In the 1800s, they proved this in the 1800s and in the 60s. You can find it simply by looking up 14th Amendment unratified 60s. You'll see the case transcript come up where they said that it wasn't properly ratified and did not meet the requirements. It granted citizenship, which before the 14th Amendment we didn't have citizenship, we were national. Therefore, citizenship doesn't exist if it's under the 14th Amendment. That's what the law says.
I'm not coming on Saturday.
Why not? We got the rest of our lives. Just one time, I'll lay it all on the line. I know it wasn't all in my mind. You told me it was. You told me without me you're nothing. Without me you're nothing. I got you, I promise. You know I'm beside you always. You told me it's you only. Nobody out there gon' love you how I love you. I can't control you, and you can't control me. Let's run off and tell no one where we're going. I hardly remember what kept me together, I just know I gotta stay on timing. I'm tired of pretending this shit gon' get better when nobody else here trying. I'm good with whatever, whoever, whenever, just tell them to hit my line. Why the fuck would I ever give up when I still got a family I can't let down? How the fuck you expect me to show you respect, you don't show it to nobody else? I don't know what's going on here, but I know I'm going all in. Send a prayer for the kid, they been praying on him all year. This is IAN, bitch, this not a drill. I couldn't take another L, I had to stop and just take it all in. Cut that bitch off, she ain't want me to win. Shit back to Rory, I want only red. Flying in private, I'm high when I land. Once you just pop it, you don't make friends. I just be vibing, I don't make plans. I don't get excited no more, I get sad. I'm not addicted, I just got a habit. You want that shit, then you gotta go grab it. Get the fuck up and make one thing happen. Ran up 100, that day that was random. Pop me another, I might go to heaven. Maybe one more, provide me an answer. Maybe keep calling, I don't wanna answer. She not the one, but I knew that already. Way back when I was way above average. I'm way above average. I'm way above average. Yeah. I'm way above average. Yeah. I'm way above average. I'm way above average.
Alright, folks. We're going to be reading the full bills. You can find the links to these bills at my website. You can go to Law Portal, the biggest cases down here, or just the Law Portal button, the homepage of the Law Portal, or you can go to there, you can go individually right here, or from the homepage. It takes you right to the Law Portal. Actually, it takes you to each one right from the homepage. You click it again here, and it takes you in to the full bill, folks. But before we get started here, folks, we got to go over some of these things that happened that barely got media coverage, that we need mandated police training all over. As it stands, our current law enforcement, we've seen trained by the IDF, former, Yep. So terrorism and security exchange programs in Israel since the early 2000s, around 9/11, when they were being investigated all across the country and being arrested, and then 9/11 happens, and they're free to continue. These training trips are frequently sponsored by organizations like the Anti-Defamation League and the Institute for National Security of America. And then, of course, let's get to the courts real fast. Go back, I think it's on this channel, but it's on the Revolt Radio channel, folks. Supreme Court appeal filing. If we could find that case. So they're already in there, and we can prove it. And there's an appeal, Supreme Court appeal filing, that the courts are ran by time of law, if you know what that is. Let's see, in my state. So this is the issue, why we're treated like Palestinians. Yeah, former. Thank God, but still in the club. Oh my God. And then we got the Oklahoma-Israel exchange, and like standard police-only programs, Oklahoma is a dedicated non-profit organization called the Oklahoma-Israel Exchange, established to promote goodwill and joint opportunities between the state of Oklahoma and Israel. Its primary focus is on agricultural, like we eat, technology, and cultural trade, though it acts as a fundamental bridge for overall state-to-nation relations. And then you got Oklahoma City, because it's home to the Federally Managed Transportation Security Administration, TSA, training programs in the Mike Mooney Aeronautical Center state-level security personnel frequently undergo homeland security training model international counterterrorism standard, including tactics observed during Israeli security briefing. Let's just skip TSA, raping everybody, in the strip searches, and the unconstitutional and override the Border Patrol, Israel. Now that we know the enemy, we're going to go back. Epstein was not Muslim. I'm tired of this. Just going to get this out here. We're going to get into the history. The DOJ is not enforcing this, so the least they can do at the state level, since y'all aren't doing anything, let this go through. We're going to get to the whole bills. But first, you have to understand what's going on here, folks. Alright folks, so let's make sure we're up. Alright folks, the Right to Travel Act. Could Right to Travel Acts be coming to every state? Here's what it could mean. A growing movement is spreading across America. As Right to Travel Acts begin appearing in state legislators, supporters believe these bills could fundamentally change how states regulate private travel by automobile. The goal of these bills is to distinguish private non-commercial travel from commercial driving for hire, even as low as like a pizza delivery guy or something. The goal of these bills, supporters argue that operating a personal automobile for private travel should not require a driver's license, registration, all that stuff, while commercial drivers, such as truck drivers, bus drivers, taxi operators, or even delivery drivers, even at the pizza level or whatever, DoorDash, whatever takes a normal driver's license, will continue to be licensed and regulated, of course. If legislation like this were adopted across all 50 states, it could become one of the most significant changes to state transportation laws in decades. Supporters believe it could reduce licensing requirements for private travelers, reaffirm what they view as constitutionally protected rights, reshape the relationship between citizens and state motor vehicle agencies. Opponents argue that private licensing requirements play an important role in public safety. That's not true. That's not true. A piece of paper doesn't make people that don't know how to drive magically know how to drive. They have a license, they still don't know how to drive. Go to Arkansas. That's not true. We got states with no tolerance. They'll run over and kill people on motorcycles if the tag is expired. Again, Oklahoma Highway Patrol saying we shoot people like that, and now it's about to be state law at the act level, a bill. And enforcement challenges, the proposal would be ultimately decided by individual state legislatures in case of the courts. As more states begin introducing rights to travel legislation, this story will continue following closely. For the latest updates, complete bill explanations, official bill links, legislative status, and in-depth coverage, go to my website. We'll put that down in the description or something below. I don't think I did, but go type in Revolt Radio 90.1 right here on the YouTube, and you can find this sublink, folks. There it is. That part. You can type all that in if you want. Old school like, you can pause, or you can just go to the YouTube and type in Revolt Radio 90.1. Click the YouTube or Facebook profile picture, open the profile, and the link's right there. And you can do this, read this, we update it, we'll share it. If you're coming to a state near you, we're going to get more information. For years, constitutional rights advocates and civil liberties supporters, researchers, legal researchers, and activists had debated one question: should Americans be required to obtain a license simply to travel in their own private automobiles for non-commercial purposes? That debate has played out in courtrooms, on social media, public meetings, and in state legislators. Now, for many supporters, the conversation has moved beyond legal arguments and into the legislative process. Could this be the beginning of a broader legislative package aimed at redefining how states regulate private travel? Could Right to Travel Act spread from state to state? And what could these proposals actually change if they become law? Tonight we'll take an in-depth look. Today we'll take an in-depth look at legislation, examine what the bills actually say, separate fact from opinion, and follow the latest developments as they happen. As time continues, we'll discuss the arguments from both supporters and critics, explore the constitutional questions being raised, and track whether proposals are gaining momentum. So if you're a critic, you want to come in the box, try to be clean, try to have a church voice. We're going to try to, try to be respectful, no bias, no opinion, but other than you're a critic and why, sorry, we want to hear your bias, but we don't want ad hominems or anything like that. I'll give mine, but clearly. Alright, we'll take an in-depth look. Let's examine what the bill actually say. We're going to do that, folks. Whether you guys So yeah, we'll check that out, folks. Oh yeah, we're gonna get it. So we'll get to it in just a second. I gotta read this. Whether you support these efforts, we gotta explore the constitutional question being raised, track whether these proposals are gaining momentum, whether you support these efforts or oppose them, or simply come to understand what's happening. This is your place for comprehensive coverage. We got boxes with Video Ninja that you guys can join on my YouTube, be a guest. I think even show your screen. It'll come right on screen and you can give your opinion and let us know what you think, folks. Just come right up in the box. Click that link, it's in the chat and it's in the description. Stay with us throughout the broadcast. Join the conversation and be sure to visit our website for official bill links, complete legislative text, state-by-state updates, and detailed analysis. New right to travel legislation continues to emerge across the country. Again, here's some of the things that also recently either changed or going to change. Other than this, the FT Transparency Act, so that confirmed outside of the DOJ release, but them not doing anything further, no martial enforcement of the FT Transparency Act, so this should at least give us what we're saying. with the state level right to travel acts, which is going to be bumped up to number 2. Going to move all those down. To now Downing's original jurisdiction should have happened or was going to happen. Haven't heard nothing. I'm about to check on it. Check on it during the live. Full Disclosure Act. All the NDAs about this spirit cooking and everything else that they found in the trafficking in the Epstein thing. That's the guy that was friends with the lead singer of Sublime. Says he was unalived brutally by the Illuminati. So we got the Chevron deference overturned, which, like the EPA, which we can play that clip to get started before we can read these bills. I'm going to play that clip. So we're going to play that right here. The Chevron gave a lot of these three-letter agencies power to make regulations every 2 years, 800 whatever, every 2 years, changing and doing things when it was already established. Well, most of those got overturned with or lost that power with the overturn of the Chevron deference. So here we go. One example, the EPA right here.
From Colorado. Bobert from Colorado for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Administrator
Bobert from Colorado for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Administrator Regan, is it true that the EPA has never obtained formal authorization legislation from Congress?
I'm sorry?
Is it true that the EPA has never obtained formal legislation, authorization legislation from Congress? It's never been authorized by Congress.
EPA is not authorized by Congress?
I'm asking you.
I thought EPA was authorized by Congress.
Well, the EPA is not. The EPA has never been formally authorized by Congress. However, this agency has imposed over $1.3 trillion in regulatory costs since the Biden regime took office. We authorize committees here in Congress to ensure that we have proper oversight and accountability in the functioning of the executive branch. And this process is extremely vital because often we see agencies abuse the separation of powers, creating rules and laws, regulations without consent of Congress. And we appropriate funds to agencies like the EPA and expect these tax dollars and this tax dollar funding to be used in accordance with the legislative priorities and comply with the oversight requirements. So, Mr. Regan, last month, the Supreme Court rightly overturned the Chevron doctrine, which the EPA relied on to support its very controversial and costly rulemakings. Since your agency has never been authorized by Congress and has since lost most legal standing, does your agency still plan to enable rogue bureaucrats to enact unconstitutional regulations?
I'm not quite sure I follow you. You're saying that...
I'm saying the Chevron doctrine was overturned by the Supreme Court.
We have no authority.
I'm saying you've never been authorized. Wait, hold on.
Congress doesn't delegate authority for us to do the regulations and the business and the policy. So since 1970...
So the Chevron doctrine, where you have created all of these rules under that have been proven to be unconstitutional by the Supreme Court, has been overruled. So now...
Notice he plays stupid at first. I thought we were authorized by Congress. Congress doesn't delegate. We can still do the regulations. Let me say it for a 4th or 5th time. Unconstitutional. This is at the highest level. She's talking directly to the head of the EPA, right? We'll get into the bills up next.
I'm asking, are your bureaucrats still going to implement these rulemaking processes.
You do know Chevron is not just focused on EPA. So,
But you are. So I'm asking about the EPA, and I'm asking about your rogue bureaucrats that have enacted these unconstitutional regulations. Are you going to repeal them? Are you going to continue to implement them, or are you going to stop altogether since it's been overturned?
do you understand the ruling?
Do you understand the
I
ruling
do.
of the Supreme Court?
I do. And so your question is ill-formed. No.
Will you
we're
be
not
repealing?
We're not going to stop.
You're going to unconstitutionally continue with these
We're going to
rulemakings.
We're going to adhere to the
EPA.
Supreme Court and continue to
So
do
which
continue to do our,
rulemakings are you going to roll back?
We're going to adhere to the Supreme Court and continue to do our work in accordance to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court.
So which
made a
ones are you
ruling.
going to repeal?
The Supreme Court didn't tell us to repeal anything.
They have been deemed unconstitutional.
No.
Absolutely, they have. This was a huge victory. And, even in our appropriations bill in the House this year, the funding has been reduced by 20%. I would argue that it needs to be reduced by 100%. But in this, it's because of these radical Green New Deal policies that jeopardize domestic energy development and overload America's power grid and raise costs on American consumers and businesses. So with the EPA and these overreaching regulations, do you have any intent on working with the House majority to lower energy costs and produce more reliable and affordable energy?
If you look at our rule, we are producing reliable, affordable, diverse.
I think
energy
Americans' wallets would disagree with that. I mean, the Biden administration, if they continue under Obama's administrative policies, this regulatory pace for a full 8 years, the cumulative costs of this administration's rulemakings would exceed $60,000 per household. And as you know, the Biden administration reversed President Trump's successful deregulation by executive order. So the Biden regime is on pace of increasing regulatory costs at a rate of $617 billion per year in just rulemaking that we are seeing is unconstitutional.
It's just shocking. You spend so much time with our regional staff and regional administration in Region 8 and have such productive conversations about how we're doing things for your district and your state.
Moses Cook, no, like you spend so much time. How dare you? Oh my God, we need to unalive this part. Like what?
And then you take this microphone and you
I've also seen the coal
pretend
plants that have been
not
decommissioned
exist.
in my state.
But 100% we should not
I've
exist.
seen the energy regulations
It's just-
that have regulated my district into poverty.
You're spending time with my
So
staff
sure.
in your
Of
district.
course I am. I have oversight over your staff, and I want them to
complimenting them,
answer. And I want them to
complimenting them.
provide a service for the American people.
Complimenting them
But there
about
is
the
so much.
partnerships.
Yes, there are some things that have been done well, but
But we
not
should be
everything.
100%
When we
removed?
have $617 billion per year in rulemaking, that is absolutely absurd. When you are taking our affordable, clean energy and regulating it out of existence and killing these good-paying jobs in my district, yes, I have a problem with that.
Sure, yeah.
My time has expired, and I yield.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I think that was 46 seconds over.
Talking while muted. We don't need to go over the Epstein Transparency Act. We don't need to go over. We need to look further into the Chevron, the bar litigation for constitutionality concerns. And on this website, we have a little bit on the 13th Amendment and why it's missing, the missing part of it. Government order not to participate in bar activities. MK Ultra files publicly are being discussed right now at the government on national TV, but not the first one. And not the fourth one. Because they won't enforce the first one automatically. They should pass the fourth one all the way through. It's going to move to number 2. We're waiting a little bit. We're going to move it to number 2. Let's go. Alright, folks. How far? We're in 47 minutes. Should we go? We're prepared to get these bills in. There's a bunch of law that we showed you yesterday on the stream or last night. Supporting this stuff right here, folks. As people are beating speeding tickets, people are getting rid of their child support years in or before it even starts. Because they ruled administrative law to be illegal on the population. Only for business. Only for an LLC. Not for you and me. So you need to understand. So here we go, folks. Let's get into the bills of a lifetime. I don't know what you call this, but these are the Right to Travel Acts, folks. Check this out. What do you call this thing? Alright, hold on. We're going to get right into it. Alright, folks. Up next, we're going to be discussing the notice of all law enforcement, which includes the full bill text. We're going to go over the notice to all law enforcement nationwide, but then we're going to go over the Right to Travel Act full bill text. That's a notice to all law enforcement in Arizona. After we read this bill, we're going to go through it. You get to go through it with us. So yeah, we got the full bill text right here, folks. After this, you're watching DJ Do I Go To. Alright, folks, hold on. We're going to reset that to about 5. We need a quick break. We'll get into it. We're going to read the bills. We're going to do state by state. Take a 2-minute to 5-minute break. I think 5 minutes is good. this crap. Come on with it. What? Scroll down. What is going on? Oh, okay. Scroll up then. All right, here we go. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We're back on YouTube. Got banned for a while. Real law changes coming soon. Share this stream. Share this stream. It's the most important bill in your state to get behind. The Right to Travel Act. Right now, we're reading the full bill up next. Reading the full bill up next. Up next. Right to Travel Act. I'm traveling, officer.
Schools on the speed limit's 20. You were 14 miles an hour over the speed limit, okay? You got your license, registration, proof of insurance with you?
I'm actually a diplomat.
Huh?
I'm actually a diplomat.
What? For what? Do you have your driver's license?
That card is the Amnesty Coalition's Diplomat Passport Card.
Do you have a driver's license?
I'm a diplomat.
Do you have your driver's license? I need your driver's license, okay?
Am I being,
Yes, you are.
Okay, then can you read me my
Dispatch
rights?
from Tango 55.
Can you read?
We're not going to play the sovereign game, okay? Can I get a routine 44 and be 10 trouble with the sovereign? May I please have your driver's license?
If I'm being detained, then I have to understand
Ma'am.
that I'm in custodial arrest.
I understand that.
I broke my rights and it's not-
Ma'am, we're not playing the sovereign game, okay? I need your driver's license. If not, I'm going to remove you from the vehicle and you're going to go to jail, all right? Please hand me your driver's license.
She tried playing the sovereign game 3 months earlier in an Orange County courtroom, and we obtained the footage of that for you.
Judge, are you ordering her out of the courtroom?
I ordered her out of the courtroom.
Okay, you need to leave the courtroom now. Turn around and you will be arrested for resisting without.
I am not resisting.
You are going to get
Are you gonna
arrested
leave?
for resisting without if you do not leave the courtroom now. Please leave.
I
She's being nice
am here challenging jurisdiction.
Yes,
Please leave.
just leave. Do
I
you want to
am
end
here-
up going to jail?
Just come this
I
way,
am
please.
here challenging jurisdiction and I'm standing in my rights.
Okay, you're going to be arrested for resisting without. I have been given
I'm
an
not
order by the
resisting.
judge.
I'm here challenging jurisdiction. I'm a living woman. I'm not an entity.
Okay.
I'm here challenging.
She has ordered you out of the courtroom and you're refusing to leave.
We'll check back with this later, but for now, how about we see if the traffic stop goes any better for the woman?
I've asked you 3 or 4 times now, okay? Please hand me your driver's license.
Can I please speak with your whoever's over you, please? Can you?
Would you like to speak with a supervisor? Yes, I can get one of those here, but can I please have your driver's license?
I'd like to speak with.
So you can be on a microphone, otherwise your statements won't be recognized.
I'm Anthony Meyer and appear by special appearance to challenge jurisdiction.
Wait until you're at a microphone, sir, so you're being recorded, please.
Very well.
There at the podium. Come on up to the microphone, please. Let me ask, are you Anthony Meyer? Yes or no?
I am Anthony Meyer and appear by special appearance to challenge jurisdiction and confirm administrative default and to avoid joinder. And I am approaching under special appearance and not as the named entity.
This is the case of the people versus Anthony Meyer. Are you Anthony Meyer? Yes or no? And that will determine whether or not there's a failure to appear today.
I am, Your Honor, I stated that I am Anthony Meyer, special appearance.
Mr. Meyer, you've made your
you're
statement.
interrupting me, please.
You've already made your statement this morning. Now,
Anthony
we need to
Meyer,
reset the case for
by
trial.
Special.
You've already said that, right?
I'm only here to settle the accounting.
So you have 2 options. You can go to trial, or you can plead guilty or no contest to the charge of no insurance. You want to have the case reset for trial? Yes or no?
I'm here in honor to settle the matter.
Then let's settle it. If you want to know proof of insurance, you can take that. If you want to go to trial, you can do that.
Can you have the DA read the charges into the record?
You're charged with no proof of insurance. You can plead guilty, no contest, or proceed to trial again.
I don't see any proof of the charging instrument and or
you were
any
issued a summons and
certified
complaint
accounting.
that's adequate to inform you of the charges. Test or stand by the not guilty plea that was entered by the court on your behalf, and we will reset the case for trial. How would you like to proceed?
Before this court can proceed, the plaintiff must rebut the administrative judgment and provide a verified claim by the party with firsthand knowledge.
That's inaccurate. We're going to set it for trial again.
Jurisdiction remains unanswered, and there is an unrebutted administrative judgment on the record, and I request for dismissal.
A motion to dismiss denied. Let's set it for jury trial on, we've got speedy trial restarting as of today's date.
Your Honor, for the record, I do not see the officer present in the courtroom, and without a sworn complaining witness with firsthand knowledge, I move the matter to be dismissed.
Motion to dismiss is denied. The officer does not have to be here today. We're going to set it for jury trial on May 7th at 8:30.
I've yet to see an offer from the DA. Can Mr. Epson please read the charges into the record?
The offer is no proof of insurance.
I see those charging instruments and the certified accounting for that.
We're done.
I do not see the certified accounting for the charges or the charging instruments, and I again request dismissal. I'm here by special appearance to confirm the administrative default. I've given you guys the notice. I've given you guys the notice, order, and the motion to dismiss, and I've also put into the record an acceptance of offer. And again, the living man accepts the presentment of the offer for the case number 23T0294 to set off, settle, discharge, and close all accounts, including but not limited to the equitable subrogation IRS 941, 941V, the 1099A, C, and OID, or supplied supersedes bond. I, Anthony Meyer, the living man, does not consent to go to prison on behalf of the named defendant, estate Anthony Janae Meyer.
Mr. Meyer, your motions are non-persuasive and essentially gibberish. Motions to dismiss are denied. The case is being reset for jury trial. You've seen what happens if you pull this at a jury trial. It will register as a failure to appear. A new warrant will issue, and we'll keep going through this until you show up and acknowledge in front of a jury that you are Anthony Meyer. So again, you can go back to trial. You've set a trial date, or you can plead guilty or no contest. Last chance. You want to set it for trial? Yes or no?
Again, I'm here by special appearance to challenge
we're
the
going to
jurisdiction
trial May
and
7th
confirm the
at
administrative
8:30.
default.
We're going to do a status pre-trial conference with a mandatory appearance, so you can be on a microphone. Otherwise, your statements won't be recognized.
I'm Anthony Meyer and appear by special appearance.
State of Indiana versus Michael Allegretti, 64 D01 2509 F2 10947. Defendant is pro se. State is represented by Deputy Prosecutor Hammer. We were set today for, I believe it was a FREDA hearing.
It is FREDA. Mr. Allegretti wants to represent himself. So did you get a copy of our pro se representation form?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you have a chance to review that?
Yes.
Did you sign it and stuff?
No, I did not.
No? Do you have it with you?
No, I'm not going to sign it. I'm here, if I may speak, Your Honor. I'm appearing in persona, propria persona, especially.
So they haven't rebutting it. They're just calling it stupid. Playing some of the clips on the side of the road and in court. We're back. We're going to get these cases read here. The Right to Travel Act, the biggest bill right now. Let's go. Let's start with Arizona. And we'll just open it back up in there. Alright, we're going to read this full bill right here, live. So this is what you do on the website. So the Arizona Right to Travel. The Right to Travel Act has been officially... Arizona, the Right to Travel Act has officially arrived. People of Arizona, did you know that the Arizona Department of Transportation, ADOT, extracted over $2.8 billion from the people of Arizona last year through the unlawful commercial registration and taxation of your private automobile. Here's the truth they've been hiding from you. Article 9, Section 2 of the Arizona Constitution explicitly states, all household goods owned by the user thereof and used solely for non-commercial purposes shall be exempt from taxation, and such person entitled to such exemption shall not be required to take affirmative action to receive the benefit of such exemption. A private automobile is a household good. The Arizona Constitution already exempts it from taxation. No affirmative action required. The state has been violating its own constitution and collecting $2.8 billion a year doing it. Operation Wise Dome has officially drafted the Arizona Right to Travel Act to end this constitutional violation once and for all. What the bill does: repeals the commercial driver's license requirement for private and non-commercial travelers, exempts private automobiles from commercial registration and the vehicle license tax, mandates the MVD to issue a free safe passage photo ID to all non-commercial travelers, requires a certificate of origin to be returned. Not a snake. To be returned back to the owner. To be returned directly to the purchaser at time of sale. It requires it to be directly for the purchaser at time of sale. So if you buy a new car, I think this is period, even if you use a bank, but if you don't, and you buy a car, they have to give you the MCO. And they can't force you to register it. Folks, it repeals the commercial driver's license requirement for private, non-commercial travelers, exempts private automobile commercial registration and vehicle license tax. That's crazy. It mandates AZ posts to train all law enforcement on the limited commercial jurisdiction of traffic stops. Repeals 21 unconstitutional ARS provisions that have been weaponized against the people. Read the document yourself right now. Got the full bill, the case law and statutory validation, 35 plus legal authorities, fiscal note for the $2.8 billion citizen mission. Arizona needs you to act right now. They have formally submitted this bill and contacted all Republican members of the Arizona legislature, 33 representatives and 17 senators, with Republican trifecta in Arizona. This bill can pass without a single Democrat vote, but we need the people to apply the pressure. Call your Arizona legislator today and read this script. Or anyone, let's make a similar script for your state and say something like what he's got here. Hello, my name is DJ Dyko, and I'm a constituent of district number 00. I don't know my district here. I'm calling to demand that Senator's representative name formally sponsor the Arizona Right to Travel Act, drafted by Operation Wise Dome. The forced commercial registration of private automobiles is a direct violation of Article 9, Section 2 of the Arizona Constitution. We expect the public commitment to sponsor this bill within 10 business days, or we will escalate to every available legal remedy. Email them the 3 document links above and demand a written response. Share this post to every Arizona group page and profile you have access to. The people must know their rights. The legal foundation is unassailable. Unassailable. A state may not impose charge for the enormous right granted by the federal Constitution. Supreme Court, Murdoch v. Pennsylvania. The state converts the right to liberty into a privilege. Citizens can ignore the license and fee, engage with the right with impunity. We'll go over some of these again as we go through before we go into it. Supreme Court Work v. Birmingham. The right of a citizen to travel on the public highway, transport property therein, is not a mere privilege, where it may be permitted or prohibited at will, but a common right which he has under his right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And then Thompson v. Smith, time for compliance is over, time for sovereignty is now. Share this everywhere. You got the same thing there. So we got the people who are watching right now. This is Arizona. We're going to read the full bill right after this. Alright, folks. Biggest change in law? Or is this thing no media coverage and die out in a week? Looks like we got a lot of people that could be behind this bill. Or is it just hype? We want your opinion. We got Video Ninja, folks. That's VDO Ninja. It's an OBS thing. It's a plugin. It's not a virus. It goes with the OBS streaming software everyone uses. Let's go. It's a guest box feature. You can come in the box. Welcome back. As we're discussing the biggest change in law in American history. We want facts only. Since they say sovereigns are idiots, well, we're sealing a deal with this one. We're about to read the full bill here for Arizona, but right now, that link should be in the chat if you want to join. In it, password, what's the password? Travel 1776. You can join in the guest just like TikTok. Let's go. Gonna get into this Arizona Right to Travel Act, folks. We gotta move. I like taking forever, but we gotta move. So we'll read the other stuff later, but this is the full bill. And we'll get a number on the HB side. Alright, folks. Here it is. How much battery we got? Here it is, folks. And since the camera's not working, we're just going to take that off. We got right here the Right to Travel Act, the full thing. Here it is, folks. A notice to all law enforcement. Tune in. Nationwide. Share the stream. We're going to read it right after this. Help this one get a house. Now, I think it's got a number. I don't know. This might have been before it got, into the legislature. Again, we're going to have all the updates. We're in contact with these people. We're solidifying it. We're beating these cases at municipal, state, county, federal level. So, right after this, I'm going to read the full text of this bill, folks. Stay tuned. The camera's not working.
Officer Rosela traffic. Reason
so you can be on a microphone.
Hi, I'm Deputy Foreman with the Sheriff's Office. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
You got all your dogs with you, huh? The reason why I stopped you at that four-way intersection, you have to stop behind that white bar before you proceed through the intersection. Do you have your driver's license on you?
No.
No?
I don't.
Do you have a driver's license?
I'm traveling.
Where's your ID then?
I don't have an ID.
What about some form of identification, so I can figure out who you are?
I'm Jason. I don't... Sovereign citizen. You don't need a driver's license to travel.
What about the registration?
This is in my friend's name.
Will you grab that for me? Who's the vehicle registered to? And who's that to you?
She's a friend of mine.
Okay. Are you staying at that residence that this is registered to?
Well, at mine, that's 3 houses down, yes.
Okay.
We live on the same street. This is her address, and mine is 21455. Yes.
Are these your dogs?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their names?
This is Benjamin, and that's Zoe.
Benjamin and Zoe. Lots of paperwork. Do you use her vehicle often?
No.
No? You probably wouldn't even know where the insurance or anything is.
I'm just going up there to get gas for my lawn. Oh, here, I seen insurance, so that's insurance.
Can I see that? There we go.
There it is.
It's from 2020, but I'll take that. That'll do the job still. I'll see if it's registered.
I had this feeling. I know a lot of cops about just gas stations.
What's your first name? Jason, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been in Florida?
5 years.
What do you do for it? Construction?
Yes, ma'am. I have a landscape business I do on those sides on weekends and
Have you been stopped by law enforcement before?
Not since I'm a sovereign citizen, no. But yes,
How
I
long
have.
has that been?
Since I've been a sovereign, a year. I would say 5 years ago I got stopped when I first moved down here.
Alright, see, we got a few idiots that identify as sovereign citizens. They probably don't now, but they understand what it means. We played the police chief, retired police chief, who understands what it means, folks. Again, we'll be right back after this with the full text.
Driving, obviously without a license,
Yeah.
and so now I know that I can't get a license, so I'm a sovereign citizen now. I'm traveling, I'm not.
Hey, Officer Ramirez. Fuck. Is this yours or his? Yours? Mine. Yeah, I went on the passenger side, started asking questions. He just rolled up the window and turned around and started dialing people. I'm like, nope, you're getting out.
I don't understand why they think we're making it up. You know what I mean? Like,
I even told him the statute. I was like, 28, 1595 requires me to give your driver's license. I'm investigating you for a crime. Hello? I am Officer Woods from Sonoma Police Department. The reason I stopped you is for it appears you have a fictitious license plate on the back of your vehicle. Do you know anything about that?
I'm a sovereign from the knee.
Okay.
And I'm an American national.
Okay. Do you have your driver's license, insurance, and registration, please? What?
No.
Do you have any form of ID on you?
No, Matthew Tucciarelli's my name.
Okay. All right. So just so
I've
you
been
know.
pulled over a couple times already by state troopers, sheriffs, and this is recognized.
Okay. I don't agree. So
Okay, well,
I'm going to be honest with you. That's actually a misdemeanor crime for you to display a fictitious license plate. Additionally, you not providing me with the driver's license is required under Arizona Revised Statutes 28-1595. That is also a misdemeanor crime. Additionally,
Uh-oh, rolling up that window is not a good idea, especially if the driver's side door is unlocked and the
Is the sovereign citizen argument real? No, it's nonsense. It loses every time and it gets dismissed.
this is a criminal offense.
Okay, so
sir.
under the Constitution, there's two jurisdictions. One is under the common law, and the other one is a condition of contract. On the colorable elements of a.
I don't know whether or not you're getting
Which
your.
two of these jurisdictions will you
Let
hear
me
this
tell you what
case
you're
from?
not going to do today, Mr. Trammell. You are not going to interrupt me when I'm speaking. Do you understand me?
I think contempt in jail time is appropriate right now.
A lawful contract bearing my signature and a proper delegation of authority granting this court jurisdiction over me, the living woman.
Okay.
And if this court
They can't provide none of that, but they can tell us to fuck off. They can put us in contempt. How about you just give us what we ask? Who are you? Where are you? And why? They are policing for profit. Anyway, this stops a lot of that, folks. Arizona Right to Travel Act. We're going to read the full bill. Let's go. Let me get some tea here, folks. We'll read the bill live. Radio is live. Make sure y'all listening to it. Are we back? I think we're back. I think we're back. I think we're back. I think we're back. I need a flat snack. If you still believe in the globe religion. Oh, never mind. Let's go. We got the state of Arizona here. Make sure the volume. Alright. The state of Arizona's 57th legislature, second regular session. An act relative to registration of commercial motor vehicles and operator/driver's licenses. Be it enacted by the legislature of the state of Arizona. Section 1. A statement of purpose. The legislature finds that the jurisdiction and authority of the Arizona Department of Transportation, ADOT, and the Motor Vehicle Division, MVD, is limited to only the commercial uses of public ways, and that the corporate state employees have, by their silence, failed to fully inform the sovereign people of the state that automobile has been confirmed by the courts to be private property, defined by current Arizona revised statutes, ARS 47-9109 and 47-9102 as household goods and consumer goods, not for commercial use or for profit or gain. Further, the courts have found that the corporate public servants will ignore their accountability as mandated in Article 2, Section 2 of the Arizona Constitution, have their silence and failure to fully inform the sovereign people of the consequences arising when the corporate offered a contract is deemed a silent deception. Silent deception and inducement by fraud, as well as committing the tort of conversion, and when taking the seizing of certificate of origin in violation of the Fifth Amendment, Article 2, Section 4 of the Arizona Constitution. Section 2. The right to travel, folks. ARS 28-2153 is repealed. Now, this gets through this what it says. Is repealed and enacted to read as follows. For the purposes of this section, automobile and motorcycle means any self-propelled conveyance for non-commercial travel upon the public ways. Motor vehicle means any self-propelled conveyance designed and used upon the public ways for profit gain in business or commerce. C. Household goods or consumer goods. It's the same meaning as the Uniform Commercial Code found at ARS 47-9102-23 and ARS 47-9109. Excuse me. And shall include an automobile. Automobiles and all non-commercial conveyances shall be exempt from the license and registration required of commercial vehicles. This could be including like your scooters and bikes. I mean, of course, headlights, maybe a turn signal, but you won't need to register it. The 50cc things will probably be, it'll probably include things over 50cc now. Of course, so your bike won't need it. Your plane won't need it. Your boat won't need it if you're not doing commerce. I should have said, hey, if you could revise these, put planes and boats. There's case law on that too, brother. If you see my video, there's case law on planes and boats. Make it specifically repealing the 50cc or less, no license thing. Oh, God. Got a bee just buzzing right in here by my feet. Okay. So we need that. Household goods right there. Some include automobiles, non-commercial. Exempt from the license. Exempt from the license and registration required of commercial motor vehicles. In accordance with Article 9, Section 2 of the Arizona Constitution, which exempts household goods used for non-commercial purposes from taxation. It's tax court anyways. It's all tax violations. Operator or driver defines one who controls the movement of conveyance upon the public way for commercial or business purposes. Traveler means the one who controls the automobile or other non-commercial conveyance. A traveler means one who controls the automobile or other non-commercial conveyance. Scooters, go-karts, you'll be able to drive them to school now. Common law means it defines the sole remedy requiring an inter party and not and an inlegious or non-human corporate creation for any controversy arising from or by the public use of household goods or consumer goods such as automobile or non-commercial conveyance. We get this through, your kids won't have to do all that crap. And it'll be back to like when your grandpa, my grandpa, we had more responsible people because we had loose laws, loose regulations. And you can prove it by your grandparents. And my grandpa said 9, he was driving to school, and 11, he had a full moving truck job by 11, folks. This is what I'm talking about, no driving license. They said, alright, if you get stopped, buddy, just tell him call me. I don't know if he ever did, but this is what I'm talking about, bro. We don't have this police state where they declared war on us and they get trained by the IDF. Let's go. Common law means and defines a sole entity requiring injured party and not an inlegious or non-human corporate fiction creation for any controversy arising from or by the public use of household goods or consumer goods such as an automobile or other non-commercial conveyance. The Arizona Department of Transportation shall provide at no cost every non-commercial automobile owner or owner of any other non-commercial conveyance with the appropriate decal imprinted with the word ARS 4790 or 9109 tax exempt. Motor vehicle residents shall use the current photo requirement now in use for driver's licenses and identification cards for legislators to issue all non-commercial travelers photo identification card at no cost with the words A.R.S. subsection 47-9109 exempt printed on such identification card. This card is not a contract, license, or instrument that would require compelled performance by the holder. The front of the photo identification card will have, in addition to the photo, the name of the address of the sovereign American language state of Arizona across the top and beneath. Non-commercial traveler. Notice, in pursuant to Article 4, Section 1 and 2 of the Constitution of the United States of America, the sovereign who is identified in this photo ID card is guaranteed safe conduct and safe passage in all foreign states community for any commercial levies or other charges. There shall be imprinted in gold copy the seal of this republic with the signature of the Secretary of State issued the photo ID. The Department of Transportation will notify every law enforcement agency in the state of the limited commercial jurisdiction concerning the right to travel and will include in the curriculum the Arizona Peace Officer Standards and Training Board AZ Post, a course specifically and distinctively providing the fact that is the use of the non-taxable consumer goods that determines their status or classification. The automobile non-commercial conveyances are exempt from registration and taxation, and the owner of such automobile or non-commercial conveyance are exempt from the requirement of a license that is necessary for non-commercial use of the public ways. The deed showing ownership of the automobile, known as the certificate of origin, shall be delivered to the automobile dealer by the automobile dealer for the purchaser at the time of sale, and shall preempt and make it necessary any duplication of the process by corporate government. This mandate shall ensure the purchaser shall be considered to be expressed the common and inalienable right, the right to travel in the public way, or ordinary lawful pursuit of life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. And of course, ownership, full-on allodial ownership, or whatever you want to call it. Vanity plate fees, Section 3, amend ARS 28-3406 to read as follows. We're in the Arizona Right to Traffic Bill, Traffic Law Reform Arizona Bill here, folks. Okay, original license fee is provided ARS 2144 and the vanity plate service fee collected in accordance with ARS 282406 plus the fee renewable use of such plates after any refunding authorized by law costs such plates or designations or effective period thereof and insurance and issuance of same have been appropriately deducted shall be expended for course materials, licensing of schools, and certification of instructors in connection with safe motor vehicle driving conducted in order under the supervision of secondary schools. Such amounts shall be kept in a separate fund. The Director of the Department of Transportation shall adopt and publish rules governing the course of instruction and training. Section 4. Original and youth operators commercial license. Cross-reference removed. Amend ARS 283320 to read as follows. Director is authorized to revoke or suspend any original license held by a person under 20 years of age by hearing of one by its own records or sufficient evidence that the driver has committed an offense excluding the offenses ARS 282153, ARS 282532, and ARS 283473 following issuance of the original commercial license for which the original commercial license holder has been convicted. Okay, let's see. Driver's license is Section 5. We're reading the Right to Travel Act here, folks, in Arizona. I'm going to get to Section 5, folks. Quick break. Got a phone call. And tomorrow we'll do California. We'll do the California Right to Travel Act, folks. Again, we were playing some Arizona cases and a few other states that came up too in the background in between. We got some more right after this. Section 5 up next. Stay tuned. Take a little break here, folks. We'll wait. We're reading the full bill after this.
Sovereign citizen guys, you kind of feel like they're harmless, but they get themselves into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but they did, because when they come to get them, hey, or they call them to the front, you know, hey, report to the lieutenant's office or report to the camp administrator office. You already know. Well, I know when I hear them call, I'm like, okay, because I remember the paperwork they filed, and I told them not to.
Not good.
And next thing I know, I see them come with the handcuffs, go into that corner pocket. Okay. Then I see them go out there with them green duffel bags to get their stuff, and I'm just like, you know.
They put the handcuffs on the whole time. You can't do this. The statute such and such, the universal code says this.
UCC, and I'm like,
stop
dude,
it.
They picked Chris up for that, and when they picked him up, we had just came back from walking the track, and when we came back, and I saw the SIS lieutenant in our room.
And you're like,
I was like, what's the SIS doing in there? Because Chris don't pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, me, I'm like, oh, what is they doing in my room? So we stood there at the end of the walkway looking at him. So the SIS lieutenant come down. He looks at me. I don't want you, Ayers. MREO, come with me. I said, damn, it's time for a change. Okay. Get on down there. Tell them what they doing. You know, I'm like, okay.
Don't you take any crap, Chris. You tell them about your straw man.
I told him, I say, stand on them principles, Chris. You are a sovereign citizen. And the lieutenant looked over his shoulder looking at me.
Don't wind him up. Cut it out.
And I can see Chris down there. I mean, I see it vividly as we're speaking. He's down there arguing with them. Oh, God. He's like, I am a sovereign citizen. This is sovereign stuff. This is citizen. I know what I'm doing. I'm doing this. The UCC tells I can do that. Next thing I know, I see him come out the room with the lieutenant and the other SIS lieutenant in handcuffs. They come down. They see me. We'll be back to get this stuff. I said, all right. So when I go down there, I knew what they were looking for. Right. So I got it all, boxed it up for him, and I put my legal work on it and shoved it underneath my bunk so he wouldn't mess with it. So when they came back, I gave him the trash of the stuff that I knew he didn't want, which was some sovereign stuff, and I gave that to him. They left. And I still had his stuff.
Right.
Even when he got moved, I still had it. And even when I got released to go home, I took it and put it in my storage unit.
Right.
Okay. And when I told him I had it, because he was whining, they took my sovereign stuff, they threw the transfer, blah, blah, blah. I said, Chris, I said, there's a book. And I told him the name of the book. He was like, yeah. He said, that's mine. I said, I have all your stuff. I have everything in the box for you. I have 3 boxes for you, Chris, of your stuff that they didn't take. He's like, I want it. I said, well, first of all, you don't have anywhere to store it right now. I say, so when you get your place, I'll use Greyhound to send it down there. You can get it. I told him.
Yeah, he's.
And a year and a half later, I sent it to him. Oh, he was happy. Oh, he was happy.
Yeah, he loves his stuff. He would get out we would wind him up, walk in there. I told you his cellie. This guy was a cellie at one point, and he would walk in and he would say, he'd go, come on, let's go talk to Chris. And I'd be like, okay. We walk in and talk to Chris and say, Chris, what's going on? And Boziak would go, Chris, man, I was in the wreck yard, and there were like 3 planes. It was like over 10 minutes. Like 3 planes came over. They all had those white trails behind them, and then, well, you know what that is? Oh my God. And he'd start going on about how they're poisoning us, and they're this, and then he'd start talking about FEMA camps, and they're going to house us all in camps, and.
I stand up for my rights cause I know my life protected by the Constitution. I know the Bill of Rights and slavery that exists in every institution. How you take the oath, then violate it, the judge and the prosecution. Why you take the power from the people just to turn around really and abuse it. You let the people down, now it's about the time that we start a revolution. The people ready for a change, all of this pain gonna start a movement. You tried to vaccinate the nation, got some information, then you misused it. You gave us the fake news, then you dumb us down with the rap music. You took away our crown, then made the females rap prostitution. We need unity in the nation if we really want a solution. We need to choose love over hate so we can make a better conclusion. The government trying to kill us with the fake food and pollution. The freedom don't come free, they'll take the key, throw you in a prison. They'll break up the family cause the plan is the father missing. They want our nation in poverty and working hard in the kitchen. We gotta take our power back and reclaim our position. I stand up for my rights cause I know my life protected by the Constitution. I know the Bill of Rights and slavery that exists in every institution. How you take the oath.
Well, back, folks, another thing that we also, as part of the sovereign movement, we proved and got in court recently that now you can have personal at-home gun if you're a felon. They're trying to remove all restrictions on felons owning guns, and they removed the requirement. They're standing on it in another case in Texas. You can't get charged simply. You can't get a gun charge for simply being a cannabis user, folks. It's not enough. Even in Texas. Well, here, the Arizona Right to Travel Act, folks. We're going to continue reading. We appreciate you sticking with us. Tomorrow we'll do California and we'll go so on. We're waiting on a few others to get published. We need to get the Florida and the other ones. But we'll figure it out. I might have to wait a sec. Folks, I'm going to play some clips. We're going to get right into it, and then we'll continue reading here with Section 5.
Your Honor, I'm here on behalf of LeGisLATURE Bill.
Yeah. Save all that stuff, because I don't like hearing it, okay?
What's up, everybody? Sorry, it's been a little bit. This was about 2 weeks ago. I was telling you guys about using the bill of particulars. If you look here, this is all dismissed. They didn't have likelihood of conviction. You can see up there, and the officer didn't appear, mostly because of all the questions that I ask. And then I also demanded them to answer them. And what they ended up doing was pushing out the court date like 3 months. So it went on for another 3 months of us just sitting and waiting, to come to find that they just dismissed this and said not a reasonable likelihood of conviction, nor the officer didn't show up. So just make sure you guys are out there asking the questions. Use the bill of particulars. If you guys would like a copy of what I use, just DM me. I'm not gatekeeping this. I'm not asking people for money. I'm happy to send it to you guys. If you have questions on how to show up in court and how to speak to the judges and stuff, I can do a video on that. Or I can try to just start videotaping inside. I know they don't like it, but I can start videotaping inside and show you guys what I do in there and how I talk to them. But in any case, this is just proof. I wanted to show you guys that what I do in court does work. This is the proof right here. It's the same case. You guys can go back to the bill of particulars and look at the case numbers and see I'm not bullshitting you guys. Anyways, stand up for yourselves. It's our 9th Amendment right to travel freely. We do not need licenses to be on the roadway in our private conveyance. I love you guys.
And I made 16 appearances in court on traffic tickets and went to jail 4 times. Lost every single appearance that I made in court, pleading every argument that the patriot community had coughed up over the last 10 years. I used a different one in every case. I have the right to travel, Your Honor. Right. Guilty. Now, later I found out that the right to travel is a commercial term. Most people in the movement don't know that, see? But then we did the research to find out. The right to travel is a commercial term, and the only common law term that's its equivalent is liberty to use the common way. That's the only common law expression for what we do when we slip behind the wheel of an automobile and go down the road. We are exercising the liberty of the common way. At any rate, after I'd lost all these cases and everything else, I had pretty much gotten to the point to where I was out of ideas. And then I provoked, I mean, you could say that. I didn't believe it at the time, but his blood pressure kind of went up a little bit in this one appearance that I made against the assistant district attorney of the county where I live. And I was standing up there making an argument, which of course was totally out of place in a municipal or a traffic court, as I come to find out later why. But I did it anyway just to see what would happen. And the assistant district attorney jumped up and he says, if you make one more reference to the Constitution or to precedent or stare decisis, he says, I'm going to have you sanctioned. Well, I didn't even know what he meant by sanctions at the time. But I found out what I wanted to know, because he added a little phrase at the end of that in which he said, the only law in this court is the law that comes out of that judge's mouth. That sounds like a military court. And when I added that piece of information to a few things, and then Randy continuing to dig in all the law libraries in California, this man spends fortune on copying costs in these law libraries, I think, which are mostly sustained by endowments from Randy Lee's feeding coins into the copy machine. The bottom line is that what with Randy's experience and my experience and that of a couple of other people, we began to put...
All right, sir, so, I mean, obviously my only concern is that the vehicle's insured for the safety of the public. If there was to be an accident, that there's some kind of...
Is that required of a private traveler?
If you have a vehicle on the road, yes.
Is this a vehicle or is this consumer goods? Because it's deemed by Supreme Court rulings that a private automobile is consumer goods and a vehicle is deemed equipment used for commercial uses.
So this isn't a vehicle?
No, this is my private property. I paid for it, I maintain it, I take care of it. I'm not being paid in any way whatsoever anytime I go out and use it.
Like I said, man, my only concern really is just the insurance, just because, I mean, if you were to get into an accident.
I understand all those. That's why I'm an extremely safe traveler. I complain and I bitch about most of the people you guys give licenses to out here.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
All right. Hey, I just want to also, honestly, thank you for honoring your oath. I mean, a lot of cops, from what I've seen from my responses online, think that I'm a heinous criminal just because I want to get from point A to point B.
No, it sounds like you're doing, you know, what you have a right to do.
Yeah, and I'm taking the precautions I need to do it.
My only concern is just for the public.
Yeah.
That you've got the insurance, but you know, you're within your rights. And I hope you have a good day. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
You have a good day.
I was an awesome cop.
That was a cop that didn't understand what I was doing, went back, got what information he needed, and came back and realized that I'm doing what I have the right to do.
The right to do, folks. Calm out. And the judges too. You've seen the judge.
I mean, obviously, my only concern is that the vehicle's insured for the safety of the public. If there was to be an accident.
All right, folks. Let's read Section 5 of the Arizona Right to Travel Bill, Right to Travel Act, for all the haters. Alright, folks, live on YouTube. I don't want to throw it to you or something. I think we're going to need one. Get one of these corners. I'll get some come on. Alright, Section 5. We'll go back a little bit on Section 4. Alright, let's see, look. We gotta go live. We're live. I don't care. We're up now. There's Section 4 again. Section 5. Driver's license rules amend ARS 283151 to read as follows. The director of the Department of Transportation shall adopt rules relative solely to licensing commercial drivers as follows. Some of these are crossed out. Maybe they were removed. I don't know. Does that mean A and B is removed? You see the line? I don't know what that means, but I know that this is important. But I'm just making this video so all the legal experts can make this viral for what it is. But we'll just read all of it. Any procedures for and information required on driver's license application, including all the sheriff forms authorized by ARS 283158. Driver's license examination, re-examination requirements. Gone. 283164. Restricted commercial license is authorized by ARS 283159. Conditions and requirements for commercial driver's license as authorized by ARS subsection 283223. Again, no planes, no boats. It's in the case law. We need to amend and add, make a quick change, or in the next states, include planes real fast. Keep everything the same, but include aircraft and boats. Or at least ultralight or small aircraft. Not any aircraft. But if I want to fly a Cessna down to an ultralight, that should be fine. Restricted commercial. Conditions and requirements for a commercial driver's license is authorized by ARS, subsection 283223. Yeah, I think it removed the first two. Intrastate commercial license for non-residents is authorized by ARS 283224. So I don't have to be a resident or a native Arizona and I can get me one of these non-commercial licenses. Oh no, that's interstate commercial license. Never mind. Access to information regarding atomical gifts as authorized by ARS 283158. Removal of collection of driver license fees as authorized by ARS 283002. Petition for refund of fees. That's there. There's application requirements for issuance of commercial motor vehicle driver school licenses as authorized by ARS 283333. Suspension and revocation of commercial driver's license. Driving privilege. Authorized by ARS 283306. Excuse me. Removes a lot of this. Suspension or revocation of a commercial driver's license or driving privilege. Appeals commercial license denial, suspension or revocation. Application for and issuance of a commercial van pullage permit. Temporary driver's license, including procedures for the issuance, revocation form, and other than matters. Authorized by ARS 283155. Seems to be big bold and a big line through it. Let's see. It's in the description. I don't see anybody. No, we got the guest box if you want to come in. Appeal the commercial driver's license denial, suspension, revocation as authorized by ARS 283317. So that's where, hang on, we're down here. Format, content of procedures for the display of the notice required under ARS subsection 3312, that's 3312, I'm sorry. 28-3312. Criteria for waiver of the default fee required under ARS 283315. They're removed. These are getting removed too, I think, or something, I don't know. Approval of drivers, attitude programs, and fee as provided in ARS 283315. Or maybe it's being added. Administrative suspension of motor vehicle commercial license pursuant to ARS subsection 1385, including notices, forms, temporary driving permits, hearing procedures, and procedures for restoration after the suspension period, establishment of administrative procedures to aid in the collection of protests and checks relating to commercial driver's license, vehicle registration, titles, permits, fees, including provisions for suspension of commercial license registration, title, or permit. So there's a suspension being removed. Procedures for conducting the problem. Commercial driver pointer system search, including forms and procedures to be used in conducting problem. Commercial driver pointer search, as initiated by employer. Commercial license expiration at amend ARS 283171 to read as follows, except for as provided in ARS 2831. All commercial licenses shall expire on the 5th. So it's that little one part of it. Except as provided, because they removed ARS 283171, didn't we, earlier? Gotta amend that one to read as follows. Or something. That's what it says now. All commercial licenses shall expire on the 5th anniversary of the commercial license holder debates for the following day of issuance. The department shall notify each holder of the commercial license by mail, addressed to the holder's last known address, or the commercial license holder has so elected by electronic telephone. They should all expire or what? Or other meaning 30 days prior to the expiration thereof, placed with the time when he appealed for the issuance of the new commercial license, should be like a Class B, whatever, license for non-commercial use, commercial license for non-commercial use of the roadways, or a commercial license for not hire type thing, or whatever that is, motor vehicle for hire, motor vehicle for not hire, the Federal Transportation, see, website. You need to get a DOT? No. No, what's standing for? Quack. You can read that one. Now, what's standing paragraph 1, the director. In paragraph 1, the director may adopt rules providing for the renewal of driver commercial license. Commercial license online rather than appearing in person, provided that the applicant is otherwise eligible for commercial license renewal. Not required to submit road test and revision ARS 283164. Has submitted proof submitted to the director. He or she meets the visual activity requirements of commercial licensing. Has computerized image on file with the division. Commercial license may be renewed online only once every other license renewal cycle, and the next time shall require appearance in person at a commercial licensing facility. Selective registration. Amend ARS 151841 to read as follows. No person who is not in compliance with the Military Selective Service Act provided by the DUC 451 shall be permitted to enroll in state-supported institution, post-secondary or higher education, be eligible to receive a loan, grant, scholarship, or other financial post-secondary higher education revenue, including federal funds, gifts, or grants accepted by the state to receive student loan, having to the age 18 with employment service day of the political subdivision. So there's a lot of stuff that could have been more about the license and more specific language used. ChatGPT is not a good, it's regulated. They call us sovereign citizen idiots. But anyway, let's keep going. Graduates of the Department of Transportation submitted for sources shall be considered to be in compliance with the sources of the Act. So that's gone. License required. Amend ARS 283151A to read as follows. No person except those expressly exempted under ARS 283152 or other provisions of this title shall drive a motor vehicle anyway in the state for commercial purposes, unless such person has a valid driver's license, as required under the provision of this chapter for the class, the type of vehicle being driven, as it should be written right here, folks. It says no person except those exempted, which is us, which is everyone not commercial, or other provision of this title shall drive any motor vehicle upon the road of the state for commercial purposes. So again, we're not driving a motor vehicle, we're not in commercial purposes, we're what's exempted. So that in Arizona, y'all need to get behind this real fast. Come on. Let's see. Such person has a valid license required under the provisions of this chapter for the class or type of vehicle being driven. Possession of license. ARS. Amend ARS 283169 to read as follows. Possession of license required. Every person driving a motor vehicle for commercial purposes shall have his or her driver's license upon his or her person in the vehicle to easy access place. Shall display the same on demand of or manually surrendered into the same hands of the demanding officer for the inspection thereof. No person charged with a violation of this section shall be convicted if within 48 hours he or she produced the arresting officer evidence he held invalid driver's license which was in effect at the time of his or her arrest. Repeal section 10. And not very long here, folks, but it should be longer. Let's see. The following are repealed. ARS 28, subject 283151B, relative to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive a car. Let's just type that in. Go. No, what is going on? I click copy. Put the whole. There we go. Anybody with a valid driver's requiring drivers to obtain. So already that makes it where they can't make a localized license at the county level or municipal to be on the roads. The overarching statute strictly requires motorists to possess a valid, properly endorsed license to drive in Arizona. Operating vehicle without license, misdemeanor. So I didn't see anywhere that removes the misdemeanor. But if this thing gets completely repealed, then that should, but I don't know, just my suggestion to clearly specify charges, including the Class 2 misdemeanor. If person is not engaged in business for hire on the roadway and using equipment, they're just using a privately owned vehicle or a friend's privately owned automobile or a friend's automobile, scooter, bike, go-kart, whatever it is. Because there used to be a time where you could just get go-karts going and your dad would hop in with your brother and your kids and ride down to the lake on go-karts and bikes and dirt bikes. And you'd hop on your dirt bike, put a light on the front so you get home, or maybe a tail light and stuff, or the signals nowadays, but just to go down to the lake, just to go get some milk inside the thing, or shoot. A lot of movies as a kid, this was normalized out in the woods and in town, like the Stripes. You probably never seen that movie, and she ends up riding this rescued zebra to work on the horses, ends up racing or whatever, but the point is, she was riding a bike, a dirt bike, a regular dirt, like an 80cc or something. Come on, folks. We have that right, and they're breaking the law just to generate revenue, and they are treating us like criminals, folks. So there's that back here. Let's just confirm what's being repealed, folks. This Class 1 misdemeanor for suspended, revoked, canceled, or refused license. Up to 6 months in jail, $2,500 in fines, 30 days. A vehicle impoundment is gone. Nope. We're doing this. Again, tomorrow, or should we wait a little bit? No, tomorrow, I guess we'll knock this out and start streaming again once a day. But we're going to do the, what do you call it here? We're going to be doing It dictates the requirements for driver's license, instruction, and permanent applications in Arizona requires all this stuff. Yeah, they need that Social Security number for child support enforcement. Yeah, they're getting paid off that. The applicant's full legal name, date of birth, sex, brief, physical description, licensing history, details any previous driver's license held, including the type issuing. Only way I would let somebody even try child support is if we agreed to rig the system together and we weren't actually split. Or even if, maybe, I don't know. As long as I got half. But like, if we did child support right and made up this bull crap, she goes, I want him to have the kids, but I want child support. I want him to be the main and me to have the kid. We set it up weird, even though it's a mother state. And then endorse any paperwork and say the Social Security number is used for child support purposes. It says right here. That's how I would do it. And so therefore, there's the money. No, I'm not paying. And then she would be like, hey, look, he shouldn't have to pay, sir. You agree to child support. That comes from that. It don't come from his income. That's so he can find things to do with the kid. You don't know about all that. So if I got proof of your religion, come in the box. I guess I need to do the saltwater thing where we go finish this out and play some clips from Arizona and see if anybody's got media coverage on it yet. Something like to be being talked about. Alright. What's going on? Oh, what is that? That's gonna be like, why not? Alright, folks. Let's continue to read on here, folks. This is available on the website. Homepage right now, but for now, here you click the law portal, and we're going to update it soon. If these are done, we'll try to knock those out, and when more states come, we'll get it. Again, all this money that Arizona takes. $2.8 billion, folks, back into this bill, full bill. We're just, you know. So now, the Department of Transportation, who starts to be doing this, won't be able to, and the cops too, of course, won't be able to examine for a license. Eyesight, written traffic laws, driving test, all that's gone. In Arizona, if this passes. Unless, again, commercial. I feel like there's a lot more that probably needs to be repealed. It just feels short. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Oh, we got this too. Okay. Well, if we could just check. Issue no running identification license. That's gone. We're going to get a traveler's ID. Whoa, come on now. There it is. Hey. That's gone too. Or, well, it could be. Are we back? So this is wild, folks. Alright, let's go back. Alright, let's see. Okay, we got some more. Okay. We got a little bit more. We'll read that. We'll go through all these. We'll let Arizona know what's going on here. And then, should we do one tonight or wait till tomorrow? Maybe we'll come back around tomorrow. Folks. Uh-oh. There's that consent word again. This one is a selective service registration for eligible applicants of driver's license. Let's go back. These are all repealed, folks. If this gets through, we need to get behind it. All the haters that said this wasn't real. Let's see. The Arizona statute that governs the issue of duplicate or abandoned instructional permits and driver's license. It outlines the specific conditions under which a driver can obtain a replacement license and the requirements to add a veteran designation. Key provision of ARS 283170. There it is. That one gets repealed. There's expiration and renewal. I'm typing the A. I don't know what's going on. Or I'm copying the A. Renewal. Requirements. Address. Every 12 years you got to pass a vision test and update your picture. Well, not if this passes. And again, no Epstein Transparency Act enforcement. The least they can do is this. Arizona revised statutes 2153 requires motor vehicles, trailers, semi-trailers, operating permit motorists to register with the Arizona Department of Transportation. Trailers? Semi-trailers? Oh. Legal exemptions. Alright, let's go. Special registrations. The 90-day non-resident. Let's see. There it is. Registration card shall contain the physical card of the following. The dated card issued, the registration number signed to the owner. See, so that gets repealed. Display of registrations, license plates, display of license plates relative to registration violations, again, gone. Relative to driving without registration, that's gone if this passes. I guess this is Arizona, folks. Arizona, folks. Arizona, folks. Right here. Let's go back to, hold on, stop. Is that it? This act shall take effect 60 days after its passage. That's 2 months. No, a year later, we're still going to. None of that, folks. 60 days. Well, let's see what else TikTok has here for Arizona. After we check the Right to Travel Act. Nothing on TikTok yet. We're going to just go plain old start over Google search. What is Here's what I can see the time when I having a time of the night. When it comes up, of course, they got to put something to distract. Like, I don't know what you mean. But right here, there's some deal about travel across state lines for abortion care, and a grassroots proposal seeking to exempt private vehicles from state licensing and registration laws. Well, we don't care about abortion. We got something on Instagram. Shoot. Okay, let's see if anyone else is talking about this, folks. Rest in peace, DOT. No, not what I thought. Nobody's talking about it. We're the first. Yeah, I wish what I can see the time of the moment. Chris Paul with it. Let's go. Yeah, there it is. The right to travel into a commercial privilege. They want exempt non-commercial private automobiles from state vehicle registration, titling fees, and mandatory driver license requirements. Legislative actions. While these acts have been aggressively promoted to legislative committees and representatives in states like Tennessee, they have not successfully passed into law. They're going, oh hell, we just started. Calm down. Man. Money back. I'm going to show all the AI knows about this. You swear I can't see the time, but I'm... We'll be right back. We'll finish up Arizona right here. Stick with us.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, $118 for car insurance. That's how much I was paying, okay? I picked up the car a few months ago, and watch this. Ready?
My name is Steve.
If the feds listening, let them know. Daniel, what's up? Ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction. Overturn convictions, tell them people listen, let them out the prison. We don't need permission. Ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction. Overturn conviction, tell them people listen, let them out the prison. We don't need permission. Ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no inch party. Gotta let you free and let you catch a body. For my Bill of Rights, I'm riding with a shotty. I use the Circle 7 to overcome this folly. Ain't no jurisdiction, tell them people listen. Let my people free, let them out the prison. I got that Larry vision, I'm back on my mission. If they knew they rights, they would not be snitching. Ain't no real judges, they can't make decisions. They the opposition, all these politicians, all official crimes, they never got a witness. More Science Temple, we own that nation business. Ain't no real courts, enforce the Constitution. All these politicians, taking contributions. All these chemtrails, trying to spread pollution. Government corruption, the secret institutions. Ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction. Overturn convictions, tell them people listen, let them out the prison. We don't need permission. Ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction, ain't no jurisdiction. Overturn conviction, tell them people listen, let them out the prison. We don't need permission. Respectfully, I put Prada on my prodigy.
Pressing. They're pressing. Oh my, Gemini.
two. I'm just playing. Yo, y'all know what it is. We back here with another one. I know what it is. Is that the instrumental? Yeah. Okay, y'all know what it is. Space is Fake, y'all. Brought to you by not NASA, not a space agency. It's probably still gonna be like. I'm gonna crank that down a little bit, folks. Alright, folks, we're back here with the Right to Travel Act, folks. Here, we've read through the bill, we looked at what was being repealed. Seems like a lot of lines removed and a lot of language changed, and a lot of sections repealed in the driver's license code for Arizona if this thing becomes law. It's a full legislative package that's been sent off, and they said we can pass it in Arizona with the Republicans alone. I think that's what it said. We got that right here. I think. So again, when you restart that all the way up, there's that. But right here, folks, Citizen Mission, Arizona needs you right now. We formally submitted this bill, conducted all Republican members of the Arizona legislature, 33 representatives, 17 senators, Republican, trifecta, in Arizona. This bill can pass without a single Democrat vote, but we need the people to apply the pressure. Call your Arizona legislator today and read this script, folks. We can get it. There it is right here. Hello, my name is E.J. Dyko, and I'm constituent of District Number Plop, and I'm calling Senator Representative Name, formerly sponsored Arizona Right to Travel Act, drafted by Operation Wise Dome. The forced commercial registration of private automobiles is a direct violation of Article 9, Section 2 of the Arizona Constitution. We expect the public commitment to sponsor this bill within 10 business days, or we will escalate through every available legal remedy. Email them the 3 document links above, submit, and demand a written response. Share this post to every Arizona group page profile you have access to. We're trying to go on the news with this shit. The people, I don't know what he's trying to do, but the people must know their rights. The legal foundation is unassailable. The statement on put, there's some case law there, folks. There's some case law. The state confers the right, liberty, and to the privilege. Citizen can ignore the license and fee engaged in the right or the liberty with impunity, folks. Anyway, let's get it. We're live. We're lit. That was Arizona. Right to Travel Act, folks. There's the others. Again, some of the biggest cases in American history, folks, are these. And then this thing that Operation, the We Shall Be Free tour. I don't know what happened to that this year. It's supposed to be the year original jurisdiction gets invoked at that level. Well, folks, we've gotten down to the end. I think we just get to more testimony and results and things being repealed in Arizona, because I don't just want it to be about the right to travel and the sovereign movement. Other laws, too, that are being repealed that are unconstitutional. Other law changes and regulations they can enforce on regular people. We're going to look at those, too, because, yeah, this may happen, but also what else are they putting on the legislator? I can't do all 800 every 2 years, but we're going to try to do as much as we can. And if you want to co-host and be a special guest, again, we have guest boxes ready for the YouTube, folks. Sorry, we got the boxes. I thought they were on screen. I don't know what's going on here. That's the... Oh. Alright, so... Again, we're using Video Ninja, folks. Got the link. Should be in the chat. Definitely the right link in the description. We changed it. And you guys can come in the box. We're going to try to leave this. There might be a guest here. I might have to log in with my OBS account or something to get it to work. I'm not sure. I haven't done it like this with guests. Now, I have done the Video Ninja standard. You connect the camera. And I've tried it while streaming football games. For B footage, you can add iPhones and connect them with a lens extender. It's like a thing on the front of the camera, and you can zoom optically with an iPhone and get a live set of cameras for cheap. People can use their own phone. And it goes back to a main broadcast with a scoreboard and everything like that. We were trying to set something up. It wasn't working, but we got to get this out. The Right to Travel Act coming to a state near you. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're going to start winding down 2 hours. We got 31 minutes left. Folks, I'm going to take a quick break. And for the last 30 minutes here, since we started early, I want to start at 11. I think we started like 10:30. I don't know. But, we're going to just play some results here, folks. Some TikTok. Whatever we got here, folks.
Just been released on one. He's got a big shipment. Illegally low. You get this wrong, you could risk the bond, and your chances in that real are 50%. Let's walk through exactly what the law says, how it's supposed to be practiced, and what you need to do to stay safe. The paperwork doesn't say anything about travel.
There's obviously 49 other states around all different variations of the law. In the state of Arizona, if you have a gun in the car and a law enforcement officer during a contact with you says, hey, do you have a gun in the car? You have to tell.
Breaking news, Donald Trump just announced only Arizona residents are allowed to travel for the rest of the year.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, so don't worry.
We'll play some of the rough encounters, folks. The risk we were taking. This should stop all that, folks. There's some cases. We're going to go to YouTube and try to see if anybody's covering it other than us.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So how do we change the title again?
No, it's fine. It's for me. No, I'm traveling under my land rights. Okay. Is this your car by chance? It's under a trust. It's under a trust.
Hold on, folks. No. All right, hold on. What is going on? Okay. Let's see here. With us for yourself. Got the thing updated there in the chat. 3 hours and 12 minutes. Whoa. Alright, let's go. Play the clips.
Okay, so do you have
some of the OG ones that we've already seen.
driver's license to operate? No, I'm traveling under my land rights. Okay. That's it.
So, the sticker on your car shows that it's registered, but it's expired by like 2 years or something.
Because I'm traveling under my land rights. It's under the trust. It's not under me.
So a vehicle still has to be registered to operate on the roads in the state of Arizona.
I could travel through Arizona.
Correct, but a vehicle operating on our roads has to have registration.
I'm not a part of y'all jurisdiction. That's what I'm
Yes, you are,
saying.
sir. You're in the city of Phoenix right now. You're
This
very
what I'm
much
saying.
part of my jurisdiction.
I'm not a part of it. I'm
Yes.
traveling through the jurisdiction, but my land rights say I can travel everywhere freely. I can travel.
Correct. That is one of your rights as a citizen.
I can travel. I'm not driving.
You are. This is a motor vehicle.
No,
You're
no,
in
no, no,
control
no.
of it.
I'm
You're driving.
traveling in my land vessel. I'm not.
Motor vehicle operating on the streets of city of Phoenix
In your
the state
opinion,
of Arizona.
I get it. In your opinion, I know the law.
I do too, sir.
I know all of that, and I'm not a part of it. I removed myself from all jurisdiction of America.
You removed yourself
From any jurisdiction of America, yes, it is governed. It went to the Treasury, the U.S. Treasury, everything. It
Okay.
is,
So
but
this is registered under a trust, but it's your trust.
It's a
right?
trust.
Okay. So why'd you register this car? If you
No,
removed
I
it?
didn't do anything. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. So what's your name, brother? Just so I can talk to you like a person.
I'm traveling over my land rights, man.
And I'm just asking-
I understand, bro. I'm not trying to be an asshole.
I understand.
But
No, you're being very polite. I respect that.
But I understand if I don't confirm anything with you, then that puts me back in this jurisdiction. I understand the codes. I understand all
The
of
right
that.
to travel with Carl Miller, military veteran, shot for your country, shot multiple times, was trying to explain to people how our rights have been converted into privileges and we're slaves. You say whatever you want, but cops are pulling over the regular Joes taking their labor while child trafficking is rampant. So you can say it however you want. Either the government's so stupid they don't know how to prioritize our officers, or we're all just a bunch of slaves and they just pull us over and ticket us because there is not one rich person ever affected by a traffic stop. It doesn't hurt them. They don't lose their license, nothing. It's a means against the poor. That's called a title of nobility. If you don't know, it's forbidden in the Constitution, but they found how to change it. And since nobody knows, I don't know, are you 200 years old? Nope. So you don't know. But what about this gentleman?
Donald Sullivan isn't your typical guy. The retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel voted for Ron Paul in the recent election and says our government has gotten too far away from the republic our forefathers founded.
We don't have control of our own property anymore, our own lives, or our own anything. The state regulates and taxes everything.
Sick of the government micromanaging his life, Mr. Sullivan staged a unique form of protest. There's no state-issued license plate on his truck. You won't find an inspection sticker either. Sullivan says he doesn't need them, and he's been driving around without them for the last year and a half.
You see, a lot of people are attempting to do what these two military vets have done. Both of them have won and lost cases. I've looked into both of them. Carl Miller's like a legend in the right to travel. But because of all of that, we created this, how to travel in the private, because we've been pulled over many times and been successful every single time. Number one, with how to be respectful and not get in trouble. Number two, where's the limit so you don't get in trouble. And number three, the most important part, how to litigate the situation. How do you actually go to court, stand up for your rights, file the right documents, know what you're talking about, know when it's your turn to talk, know when it's your turn to object, how to actually win once you get in there. Due process defender, something that nobody has ever had until now, from my family to yours. This AI litigation tool will teach you how to play offense, defense, sue them if they violate your rights, hold government officials accountable, beat speeding tickets like nothing. This tool will teach you more about your rights than any government education ever could, would, or will ever do. The book is found on Amazon. You just type in how to travel in the private. It comes right up. The hardcover's $55, paperback's $33, the Kindle's $10. The AI litigation tool, go right here, statenationalsrock.com, where you can be the change you want to see. Read the About Us page, join the membership. It's like,
appreciate everybody, bro. Again, real fast.
know when it's your turn to talk, know when it's your turn to yours. This AI litigation, sue them if they violate or will ever do. Covers $55, paperbacks $33.
What was it called again?
How to travel in the private. It comes right.
Let's see if there's a free PDF. Sorry, guys. Maybe not, but there's the book. We'll just Buy the book. Screw it. You can tell it's a popular book. Anyway, I think California's next. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m., folks. We're going to go work on the radio station now. Go listen to it live. What? I want the book. Okay, so Amazon. You got a free audiobook if you got the membership. Let's see. Kindle. Forgot about this book. Well, Amazon sells the private plates too. Anyway, we're going to go all across the state. We're going to go to football games. I like D2 football. Closest college teams, D2, would be this one, but my favorite is UCO. I like D2. And they're about to go D1 anyways, which would be cool to see them in the FCS. It's still my favorite team. But yeah, if you can't afford the high prices at the D1 schools, not sponsored by the way, we just like finding fun, affordable things that people can do to save money. Oh shit, sorry. Not sponsored by y'all. We'll cut this out if you want. But look, man, D2 schools, D2 football. We'll put them on, man. There's my local college. Got a home game, Delta State. I think they play a D1 team again this year. It might be them, I don't know. Definitely think they're D1. Let's see. We're just fooling around now the last hour. Can't remember the name. Auto or SFA. Let's see, EMD1. So they're both Big Sky, you know what I'm saying? Oh, one's Big Sky, one's United. Which I like that my second favorite team would have to be an issue. Because they're the local team, but they've revamped and they got good. And they're playing D1. 2 D1 people. So we get UCO to have a close to undefeated season or an undefeated season like they had 2 years ago. Not last year. It kind of flopped. That'll be crazy. But anyway, they've made TV a few times. See ESPN Plus. I don't think West 4. Especially the D1. And that competes in the FCS. What the hell? Oh, shit. So MIAA network, you get both of these teams just like the SEC at D2. So maybe they're planning going D1. I think they need to upgrade the look of their stadium to attract more younger people, have more stuff going on. Whoa, I didn't know that. I thought they were D2 still. So that is, again, Let's double check. D2. Yep, okay, D2. Delta State's D2. So what was that one? Truman State? I looked that one up. No, the D2, so yeah, that mixed 1, 2, 3. And then of course Langston's an NAIA. McKendree, Lebanon, Illinois. So 1, 2, 3, technically D1 teams. Alright. School I like, let's see what they got. I know they play Central Arkansas. Who's played people like Missouri and others, right? Central Arkansas. Which we can check them out right now. There's it. Whoa. That is cool. They're going to see UCO on their schedule. And of course, UT Martin, West Florida. They play Florida State. They're playing us. And then they play Florida State. That's cool. Texas Rio Grande Valley, that new one. That's the new football team. They hadn't had a football program in a while and they brought it back. I think Kansas, Wichita State should have brought theirs back a long time ago. They should rebuild even higher on that away side or something. And then open one up. They needed, now would be the time. Tulsa. Excuse me. Whoa. What's going on here? Smart dust. Anyway, look. No, you know what? Look up Smart Dust. University of North Alabama. University of West Georgia, Eastern Kentucky, Florida State, that's it. Don't get one like that. That was it? Okay. Who else did they play? Of course, see how many home games? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 home games. 2, 3, 7 away games. I don't like that. But I think they're D2, so I think that's the only D1 that we got. If we handle them, and they do a good thing against Florida State, Central Arkansas, then we might have a chance. This is what I like, the Broncos. It's NSU trying to go D1 like UCO. They play 3 D1 teams this year, or is it same teams when they was D2 with Yep, we got another red wasp. One wind. Let it get out there above the house and then just rip a fat. Please go away. There we go. For football, they're independent for some reason. I've seen that. It didn't hear me. So they don't have a conference schedule. So is that what, like, that Notre Dame does? They don't have a conference championship because they're independent? Or is it independent in a conference like independent voting? That's not independent. They're registered to vote still. You know, but you're in the independent party. Everybody thinks it means you're not a part of a party. You're still registered to vote. So you're doing something. I don't know how it works, but if their whole school's MIAA, but some D2 schools and a lot of D1s don't have the same conference throughout. Wrestling will be in a different conference for some reason. I think the entire school should, if you want wrestling, then you should start wrestling in your conference. Football in your conference. I mean, maybe independent for sport, but I don't think it's better going to the conference. Especially if you want 3 D1 teams. I don't know, I look for conference championships. Lost their first D1. Whoa. They're now a part of the United. Yeah, they made it easier to go D1. That's crazy. Those little schools are D1.
Talk about the win, and that win leading into a really big game next week.
Yeah, a really good win tonight.
Oh, where's their schedule? There it is. They play bottom teams. Huh. That's crazy though. Argonauts. We got something like that in D2. Washburn or somebody. Anyway. Save money. Games are $10 or less each. Season tickets are cheap. The beer's cheap. I ain't paying $100, $50 for a beer. I'm paying $5 a seat, man. But come to one of these games. You can get cheap beer. Cheap drinks. D2. You got a local D2 college. Support them. Get your friends to show up. And that's one way we can, prove that we're not controlled. Is by filling up these stadiums on Saturday. My state, if you're in Oklahoma, you don't have to be UCO or NSU. There's other schools like Southeast Oklahoma State, Durant. You got the ECU Tigers football team in Ada. You got Seminoles, got one, Oklahoma Baptist. You got Southern Nazarene. You got Southwest Oklahoma State. You got Northwest Oklahoma State, the Panhandle, in Langston. Other teams that you can support, Tulsa University at the D1 level, at the FBS, the big level. Just pull up, quit bandwagoning the one or two bigger teams with a bigger budget. That's cool. We can still watch them on TV. People will always pack that out, but a lot of y'all don't go to the games because they're expensive and they're sold out. These aren't, and they're cheap. D2's where it's at. Maybe you're a D3 or NAIA. One or two of those schools were NAIA. Sorry. But check that shit out. Not sponsored by this. I just think it's a cool thing that's not ritualistic, that's regular football that people can get out and do on Saturday this fall with family and kids. We need to encourage people to socialize and get back out to doing things. They want us isolated, this mad cow effect, and with all the cannibalistic fast food and the prions and the jibby jabs. This a good way to combat that is socialization, and football doesn't require much conversation. Just, yeah, fire right on, little man, to your little kids or your niece, nephews, whatever, that are right next to you, your dad, doing it to you, whatever it is. If you want to go out and enjoy a season of football, because, yeah, you could waste hundreds of dollars and go to one game at OU that flies by had a big thing. That's cool. And maybe you can still do that. But you can go down the road to UCO, SNU, or OBU. UCO having an FCS, almost an FBS level size stadium, they say. One of the biggest football stadiums in the D2 level, used for their high school state championships. So yeah, you can get a good atmosphere, a good crowd. You know, we can build crowds at these and make it work on a budget. If you want more budget things to do to have fun, yeah, the BOK is cool, but you want to see celebrities when they're out at these festivals, like a bluegrass festival. It's got a big celebrity. Be a lot cheaper to go into like a patch of field or something out somewhere than it is to go to the BOK and see them at the peak of an album drop. So wait till they drop. Wait till their buzz kind of goes down. And when they're doing a little solo gig at these shows, I can find y'all deals. I'm always looking for stuff like that. But mainly in the fall, football, that's what it is. We ride the China bikes out there to save gas. It's 300 miles, within 300 back. Some of y'all are like, yeah, I might be able to do that once. Gas money's high. Well, if you get bikes, maybe even a good on gas, little cheap China trike. Get trikes for the kids. You get the right to travel act passed in your state. And get all this exempt paperwork. Say, look, my kids are trained. They ride with me. I'm responsible for what happens. We're saving gas money because you guys want to raise everything through the roof. And there's tricks to make these China bikes conserve gas even more and run on vapors or however it was. Like that guy did in the car. I don't want to do that, but you can do that and fill it up and get twice the distance on some of these China bikes. But either way, it's like $5, $10. I don't know, maybe 15 when it's bone dry. I fill it up with the prices we have, and it gets me about halfway or more. You know, I try to like half or just under half. I don't let it get into the quarter. I can go all the way from like South Salt to which is near Fort Smith, Arkansas, to Oklahoma City, around 300 something miles. I mean, not Oklahoma City. It's at Henrietta, and then that's where I like to stop, let the bike cool. So I didn't have the cooler on it at first. Now we got the cooler, but we're still going to do that. Let the bike cool, eat something, gas up. 30 minutes maybe, at the very least. But an hour's cool if we sat down and eat somewhere. And then we head on. We could either go south to Durant. If we didn't, we probably already turned around Eufaula for that. Go straight to Durant, or we can go straight to the city and go up to Edmond. And that's where I like D2, Edmond. Y'all know what's going on. Let's get it. If you got a D2 school and you want to start supporting them and filming and documenting your games and streaming it live, I thought about doing a thing where we could just go live with fans from smaller schools in this guest box and just, yo, what's good, y'all? You know what I'm saying? Kind of press when I bought my way in type shit. And we'll just do this thing when we're live at UCO. This is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We'll walk around, get different angles. Or if the away side's empty at the top, we'll go up top on the away side and do it till the battery dies on this thing. So yeah, we did 3 hours. I don't think I had to plug it up. We started it completely full. We charged it all last night. And then left it on the charger until about when I started it. So here we go, folks. I guess I didn't end this stream, but the Arizona Right to Travel Act, it's up to you. You gotta contact every legislator, especially the Republican ones and the independents, the Green parties, the Libertarian parties, anything other than the Democrats right now, because they're switching it and making the Democrats look bad again real fast, because the Republicans were all in the Epstein files too, and both of them were just as bad. They've always kind of just burden shift who's worse and someone does something worse on the other side, and then the Republicans 5 years later will do something worse. It's all fake crap. And a lot of these people, they did regime changes, and why they want a regime change in Russia is because they're calling it out, saying, hey, look, it's the same bullcrap. They both are the same people with a fictitious feud on stage, but they're clinking it up in the background, sharing the same bottle of booze, and shaking hands. It's a pleasure doing business with you. Like, you know, here's business. So it's like, yeah, appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I think everybody's gone. So thanks for tuning in. We might come back tonight with some flat earth stuff. Other people, I haven't got it set up yet on this other device to stream while I'm doing this TikTok studio on here. So we'll have to figure it out. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're going to try to get this shit going this year with the radio station. I had to relocate. No Gator football right now. They were undefeated. I don't know what it's at now. Apologies to all of them. That we couldn't. I wasn't doing it. It's working now. I don't know why we got full bars now. I think it's mainly the Wi-Fi, but we'll try something else. We'll get memory sticks and everything. But next year for sure we'll have it. I'm going to start wholesaling houses, get the money up, and build a whole media kit. So, yep. So anyway, the Arizona Right to Travel. Crazy, huh? We appreciate everybody for joining us. And if you want to join the next one, if you're in California, on either side, for or against this thing, I want to hear your best arguments of why you're a critic or a supporter, or if you got a straw man or whatever, you want to, or whatever, you know, you want to just kind of non-biasedly look at both what you think arguments would be for critics and whatever, it doesn't matter, you know. Clearly, though, the safety thing is cooked. They can impound your car because you don't have a piece of paper active. Oh, your license expired yesterday, or it got suspended for failure to pay. Well, we're protesting right now because y'all are all on the steam list. So screw you guys. Like, I don't know. But anyway, still in the lawsuit. Don't want my car. I done retitled it during the lawsuit. We're trying that. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Anyway, the biggest change in law, we're on YouTube. There's Video Ninja, chat box. It's the OBS plugin. Nothing weird. People are like, oh, I want the TikTok one. Well, I'd like to restream TikTok on here too, but I can't. So screw off. Alright, folks. Can I stop it? Oh, we're still going.